Hello and welcome to this episode of the GrowVC Everyone Funding Startups podcast. And in this episode, we thought it would be appropriate if we revisit what's going on in Europe on a large and high level. So I'm here with Tony Dhillon, and we're talking about what's going on in London on a general level, but also in terms of what we're doing in terms of GrowVC. And Tony, you were just at the Inspire conference a couple of days ago. What was that like? What was the general atmosphere like there? And what did you get from that conference?
The atmosphere is very, very positive. A lot of people very, very interested in new ideas, new changes to help the world and see what their part is within that, be it working with startups or getting ideas off the ground. And also there's a lot of interesting startup companies from the UK presenting there, companies that are really disrupting old age industries and helping businesses. For example, there was a company called Market Invoices, which are trying to help small businesses access to finance. And the speakers, we had Rajesh Sawani from Reliance Media Entertainment, and he was talking about the growth in India. And we also had a lot of individuals from different sectors, be it new technologies in the States, and also individuals who really had done a lot of research into artificial intelligence and seeing what the new trends are going forward. It was very interesting to see that also that a lot of people were seeing what are the problems going forward in terms of the world, sustainability, climate, energy, health. And it was a case of, I guess, the speakers letting individuals know these are the challenges going forward, and you are the people right now who need to help meet this challenge over the next 10 to 20 years. So it was really trying to create a movement, and I think that's what the whole conference was around, really.
Yeah, and I know you worked with Adil, the founder of the Inspire conference, who was also on our podcast a couple of weeks back. And we partner up with them in terms of the event and the conference. So in terms of, you were involved from quite a long time ago. So did it turn out like you expected? What was the major takeaway from the event?
I think the major kind of takeaway was, especially for myself, was just trying to see how people really want to collaborate with each other. They're very interested in listening to what other people are doing and possible collaboration. And I think that's really the key going forward in terms of a lot of different startups. There's a lot of synergies there, and very much people, instead of being competitive, are very open to working together to move, be it London or Europe, forward. But also, I think the Inspire conference is very much in line with the kind of the TEDx way that is very popular in the States. And a lot of people were not specifically there just to talk about, I guess, their companies. It was more kind of detailing things in their lives or careers that had been interesting and that people can take away from, things that you don't really hear about. It was more adding, I guess, the personal qualities that it takes to, run interesting companies or make a change going forward.
And speaking of going forward, looking at the next couple of events that are coming up, if we go in chronological order, we have an event in Berlin where Jok will be participating in a panel. I think that's on June the 15th, called Crowd Convention. And that's something that if anybody happens to be in Berlin, then definitely get in touch with us and set up a meeting. We're always happy to meet anybody that's interested in what we're doing and interested in partnering up. And I think you can read more on Crowd Convention at crowdconvention.com. And I hope that we'll have lots of good material from the event itself to spread after the panel and to also distribute to our listeners. But Tony, we have another event coming up. Was it on June the 20th? Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's very much a follow-up, a shorter follow-up to the Crowd Convention in Berlin, which is, from my understanding, is actually the first conference centered around crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. And the workshop we have on the 20th of June, it's happening at the Innovation Warehouse in Farringdon, and starts at 11:30 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. And we're collaborating with Idea Vibes, which is an organization that is the first crowd engagement platform, and utilizing crowdsourcing on projects, marketing, communications, and basically a lot of the work that goes into behind companies, and using the crowd to utilize that. And we'll be discussing where we are with GrowVC in Europe and also around the world in terms of crowdfunding, and also explaining what it is and what it can do for people and companies as well who wish to start up, and also a lot of the possible restrictions going forward or the opening up of markets. So it's just a generalization of where crowdfunding is right now and where we hope to see it in the next 3 to 5 years.
And isn't it so that you're holding the workshop there?
Yeah, I'll be holding the workshop.
What do you have planned? What in terms of? I know you went through a different set of topics that you'll be touching on, but could you elaborate a little bit more on GrowVC in Europe? What you'll be speaking of there?
What we'll be speaking about is our growth, really, in terms of a lot of entrepreneurs, startups, funders, investors. Everybody we speak to wants to get involved in some capacity. So we're seeing a lot of people being in contact, and they want to kind of join our movement in Europe as well. And they feel that it's their kind of, although the area is very new, they completely get it. And they really want to help us grow, and at the same time use GrowVC to hopefully meet ambitions that they have as well. But also what we're seeing is that individuals who wish to work with us, they're very much not only working with us on the platform itself, but also bringing us new interesting ideas where GrowVC can grow its local networks on the ground level and embed itself in the kind of startup ecosystem. And that's what we're finding in the UK amongst the entrepreneurial community, the startup companies. And what we're finding from across Europe, be it from Spain or Poland, is that the ideas and what people want to achieve, the ambitions, are very similar. And also we're finding that around the world as well. So we're basically from the same kind of thought side going forward.
So that's in London on June the 20th. So if you happen to be nearby, then definitely stop there and meet more of our team, because Tony, you'll be there obviously, but I think also some other people from our team, including, for example, our marketing director, Myra Landsberg. I think she'll also be attending. I'm not sure if Yoko will be there. I think he might be traveling, as he usually is, but we'll see. But yeah, that's anyway a very good chance to meet more of the people behind GrowVC and talk about what we're doing at the moment and what's going on behind the curtains. And I think one thing that we could also mention in this podcast is that we have a series of different tools and functionalities and things that we're updating on the platform. We've been holding on to them because we wanted to do this right, and we have different functionalities and pieces to the puzzle that we'll be updating quite soon, within a month or so. But one of the biggest pieces to this puzzle is what we're calling the networks feature. And with the networks feature, the idea is very much that we have partners that could run their own funding network using the tools and functionality we've created. And this goes in line with our mentality of not reinventing the wheel. So we don't want people to do the same work and go through the same processes that we've already done, but rather would just have them use what we've already developed. Because this is about a community of actually developing the startup funding ecosystem, and it's a large enough challenge anyway. So this is something that we'll hope will have a big impact on this field and its development. And this is a model which is very relevant for many different actors in the startup funding ecosystem and stakeholders. So for example, if you're a pioneer in your field, an incubator, accelerator, a bootcamp program, an angel network, or a student group, for example, and I mean the list goes on, you could get in touch with us